Alright, guys, so we're here. The long overhaul of Act 3. Um, so a few updates. We are now officially using the Patriarch. Um, it's a little slower in attack speed, but it does give us more better damage, so 117 to 203. Still have our maxed out resistances. I switched over to Serpent Scan Magi just because it gives us that one extra skills. It gives us that magic reduced by 13 on top of everything else it gives us. I switched back to Nagels because it gives you that magic reduced on top of that attack rating. And because it gives you the resistances of 29. I don't think I'll be switching out to Ithras anytime soon, or if at all, because it gives you that resistance of 20 plus the 10%. So unless I find some armor that's going to be extremely more better than Ithras, very unlikely for this challenge. Now, video cam may cut off part of the skill tree over here. So you know what? Let me move my. Let me see if I can do this properly. Move this over here, so you guys can at least see the skill tree. The game over. So you're still using enchants, which is level 11. You have frozen armor, you know, still at level 1. Still have the 1 teleports, telekinesis, and then we have a level 5 energy shield. Now, I was highly confused of how energy shield actually works, and even then trying to look up a video and figuring out how it actually works is still somewhat confusing, because there's going to so much math detail that you have to actually just figure it out for yourself. So what I could kind of figure out is that, as you can see, it has absorb 45% damage. Well, in this case, it'll be absorbs 40% damage. So what I kind of figured out is that, for instance, if we were just going to put this in points instead of percentage, say you take 100 damage, energy shield will absorb 40 points of that damage. However, the extra 60 points is still going to go straight to your health. So when you have, like, at the most it said was between 75 to 95% damage absorption. So basically it'd be taking between 75 to 95% of that damage to your mana instead of your health. In terms of, you were, like I said, if you were to put it more easier in points wise, say you have like 300 health, and say your mana shield is absorbing 95 points of that, it's going to take 95 points out of your mana, but the rest of the damage is going to go straight to your health. It's really confusing. I've still yet to figure it out. I watched like 2 or 3 videos, looked it up on Reddit. It's just so much percentage wise of how it actually works. But in other words, it's going to take 40% of the damage put into our mana instead of our health. So we're still going to take actual physical damage in our health to a certain extent. And I apologize about that. So it makes this challenge run even more difficult, because energy shield does not work like mana shield in Diablo 1. In Diablo 1, all you needed was just to throw up mana shield and just have mana pots, and all damage would go strictly through your mana before they would ever touch your health. So if you had, like, say 50 health but 500 mana, they would have to burn through 500 mana before they could actually touch your 50 health. Energy shield does not work like that. So they do the whole run like that, thinking, oh yeah, I'll just, build up an ass ton of mana, I'll be pretty much completely godly, they're not gonna be able to touch me whatsoever. No, it doesn't work like that whatsoever. So that was a huge disappointment trying to figure that one out. So I can still be killed even with having energy shield up, which sucks, which makes this challenge run even more difficult. His armor and gear are still the same for a Merc. I gave him the battle branch just because it gives him a 30 increase attack speed, but also gives him 7% lifesteal too. So the other following update is that we are level 29. I have 110 strength because I needed a lot of strength to just use this. You need a minimum of 100 strength and 60 dexterity. Stat wise, it should tell me I'm only at like 90 strength right now, and then only 56 dexterity. Basically no points in my health whatsoever, and most of my points into energy shield. So I might just switch these back up, considering that it doesn't work as I thought it would. So here's the catch for this. We're on players 1 right now. I will give Travical a players 7 run. if I cannot kill Travancore on player 7 or barely even hurt them on player 7, this is where this challenge run will be dropped down to players 1 instead of player 7, because the further you go up, the more damage you're going to want. And only sitting at 200 something damage, and even with an enchant, I'm only sitting at 166 to 273. That'll barely get me through Act 3. Act 4 and Act 5 may be the end of the challenge run right there, unless I can get better gear or some form of survivability for the sorceress. Because there is no way in hell I'm going to be able to kill Diablo on player 7, let alone get through Chaos on player 7 with this sorceress. So I'm going to switch this over to player 7 for Travancore. We'll see how far we can get. Like I said, if we can barely hurt them whatsoever, we're switching this as a player 1, and then we'll see how far we can get through that, because I can tell you right now, if we can't kill Travancore, there is no way in hell we're going to be able to kill Mephisto, Diablo, let alone Ancients. Bale, you can somewhat cheese the waves once you eventually get to Lister, but after that, even then, Bale's going to be, he has an ass ton of health. He's like level, 65 or some crap like that. So I was grinding, but barely getting any experience whatsoever. So let me switch this to player 7. And we'll see where we can go from there. But so far, the videos for the challenge run has actually gotten pretty high. I mean, like, the first one was like 280 views, and then it's like, was like 180 something views, and then like 50 views, and then it's like up to like 130 views. So apparently people like this challenge run to see how far I can actually get. Even with Merc doing at 81 to 188 damage, even with an enchant on him, he's only doing 130 to 258, but he has got resistances of 80. And with Travancore, it doesn't really matter, because you could have max resistance of 110. You know, they're going to pummel your mercenary. So and like I said, I got a really slow attack speed, which sucks because I gave up the armor. They gave me the attack speed, but let me switch my camera back over here before I forget. So it's either get more resistance as an extra skill bonus, or have faster attack speed, only by like 20% more. So it ain't gonna make much of a difference. Stop hitting me, you little shit. Alright, first council member. I hate these goddamn water watchers. They're so annoying. Because your merc can't attack them, so. Alright, let's look. Well, they get close enough. It's like barely doing any damage. I'm really gonna have to rely on Merc. He's gonna be the game saver to see how far we can actually get. Someone is healing them. Let's buy another travel member. Okay, we got one dead. Kalim's flail. Yeah, we were like barely damaging them whatsoever. Always recommend Travancore. Lower them out one by one. It doesn't matter what difficulty you're playing on, unless you're extremely tanky. But if you're playing like a squishy character like I am, these little assholes, apologize for the French there, will become really annoying and will wipe the floor with your goddamn Merc. Even with forms of like Dwarf Star, they give you like fire resorb and stuff like that. Dwarf Star helps out a little bit, but it's nothing that's going to be like, oh wow, Dwarf Star, 0 fire damage. It won't make that much of a difference. Especially when these little turds, they've got goddamn stone skin, so that right there is going to be really annoying. Because some of the bigger other YouTubers were saying, like Dobrunsky and Mr. Llama, saying that you have Door Star is supposed to absorb like a certain amount of fire damage and heal you back. But I'm not exactly sure how that actually works, because I've had that on my Barbarian and I didn't notice like a difference whatsoever. So you may hear the fan in the background too, so I do apologize. Masterfully done. Yeah, whatever. And everything else, I have a few. I bought a few games too of there because of the summer sale, the spring sale. Sadly, two of them don't work, and I'm really disappointed because one of them I really wanted to play that came out on the original Xbox, and it's called the Dark Messiah something Magic. It came out on the original Xbox, and I'm guessing like PlayStation 2. Bought that for like $2, but it doesn't work. It's one of those games that, because it's made for like Windows XP and Windows Vista, which a lot of these games are for, it'll launch, but that's it. It won't do anything other. It'll say it's running, but that's it. So it won't work whatsoever. And the other one was The Witcher. It was the enhanced edition, which was the first Witcher, but my computer doesn't meet these certain requirements to run it, which sucks. So, and there's like one other game that I was just looking at random like PlayStation and Xbox games, something like that, that actually works. This is gonna be interesting. The only catch with it is that I have to see if it's controller compatible, because it doesn't use the keys for like W, A, S, and D to move around. From looks, it looks like you use your mouse, and I have a rollerball mouse to move around, and I am not doing that. I'm like, why is my keys not working? And then it started moving around with my mouse, and it's kind of like, no. And the best way I can kind of describe it is think kind of like a medieval version of Doom. So we might have a few game reviews or possible new game walkthroughs coming up. They're just kind of like simple games that my computer can run, but I'll have to give them like a full test, because I do like a minute or two videos to just see if my computer can run it without sound like a goddamn jet engine just booting up over there. But if they can run with that, and they can run with OBS, because some of these games that are put you in like straight up full screen, they don't give you the option. If you're running on like one monitor like I am, it makes it extremely more difficult to adjust whatever capture you're using for OBS. So, and some won't even allow you to even do that. They'll just immediately put you right back into your game. And that's the reason why most people usually have like a second monitor for a game server like that. The only other thing too with the Patriarch is the sword's automatically red, so I won't know if my enchantment wears off. So that's going to be a fun time. But like I said, if we can keep Merc alive, we'll see how far we get. But I'm pretty sure Merc's going to get slapped around with Diablo. Chaos, like I said, I'm going to have to heavily rely on Merc for that. We do have teleport and something like that too, so we'll save us somewhat trouble, but let's see how far we can actually get on player 7. Like I said, we're struggling too bad, then we'll switch this over to players 1. We'll still keep the challenge run up, but just on a lower difficulty. And I just recently started up Borderlands 1 again. I didn't mention that in my other video. Gotta love the Borderlands games, because I own Borderlands 1, 2, and the pre-sequel, and I cannot get into the pre-sequel whatsoever. I've tried like 4 or 5 times trying to play that goddamn thing, and it just doesn't have the same feel as Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2 does. And I was like, I get to maybe like 10-15 minutes in the game, I'm like, okay, I'm bored. I know there's a lot of people who like the pre-sequel, but it's just kind of like, it's okay. And then I was playing that, and then watching some of Borderlands 3. Hello. Borderlands is always one of those games you have to play for yourself instead of watching it. I've always been like that too, especially with like games like that. And it seems like it's decent. I mean, apparently it's the hell you were burdened with. It kept all the characters from 1 and 2, or at least the ones that are still alive. Because spoiler alert, Roland dies in number 2. If you haven't played Borderlands number 2, then what the hell are you doing? Hell, if you haven't played Borderlands at all, what the hell are you doing? If you like I cannot speak today. If you like comic book style graphics, you know, then you'll actually like Borderlands. It's an FPS adventure game, so it's one of those games, 4 players. You know, you have a soldier who uses like a turret. You know, his main ones are like machine guns, and then you have this is for basically Borderlands 1. This is gonna be an interesting part here. Then you have the Siren, who's more based around like magic and elemental. Then you have I can never remember his goddamn name. Drawing a huge blank on his name. It'll come to me here in a minute. And it starts with an M, and it's just one of those goddamn names I just cannot think of. I can't remember his goddamn name. But he's basically like the sniper class, and he has a pet eagle. Oh, you have convictions, sir. That is not good. We're going to have to lure your little ass away, because I do not feel like having to deal with all this shit. That right there is going to be a big problem. Because even with Merc having 80 resistances, that still drops in like, what, 75? Maybe not that much. It's like 30 or 75. I don't remember. How much did this shit drop me? We can get that conviction. What's Merc at? 43? That means that drops down by 37. 37 goddamn minus resistance. That's insane. Well, he's dead. And then there's Brick, who's like kind of like your I think it's Murdoch. Oh no, Mordecai. I know it started with a goddamn M, and it's someone with like a religious type of name too. I just never remember his goddamn name. Mordecai's your sniper. He has like a pet hawk or an eagle, whatever the hell it is, and he's your sniper class. So he uses sniper rifles and revolvers. The Siren basically uses like machine guns and pistols, and Brick is kind of like your big bruiser type of class, where he's like physical, but he uses like shotguns and explosives. And I always used to choose Roland because I love just throwing down a turret down and just watching it pummel the enemies. And let me tell you, that turret saves you a lot. And then in number 2 Borderlands, they have Zero, who's more of an upgraded version of Mordecai. And he's kind of like a ninja class, so he has the ability to go invisible. And I think he's like invisible to clone himself or something like that. And same thing, he uses snipers, uses revolvers, and then I don't remember who the hell the other one. I think Maya is the other Siren, and then there's the other soldier guy, which I don't remember his goddamn name, but he's just like more of like an upgraded version of Roland. And then there's the Gunzerker guy. I don't remember what his name is, but he allows you to actually dual wield your guns, which is hilarious. And then let me refresh this stuff up here. And then they have like 2 DLC characters. One you could actually play as a Psycho, which is just like pure physical, and the other one was you could play as a Mechromancer. So it would allow you to actually summon a flying robot that would just roam around and attack your enemies. Mark, I'm gonna need you to get the hell over here with the game, son. Oh, sorry. Alright, let's do this. Sir, I need you to focus on Mercury. I know what you're trying to do, Mephisto. His sneaking ass is trying to get this goddamn blood medicine in there. You might have to resurrect Merc multiple times. But I got the Mechromancer with it. Shit. Okay. Let's see, improve things. That goddamn chest. The one area I happened to put in my goddamn portal is like, oh, there's a chest there. It's like, that's not what I'm aiming for. You know what? Let me switch up my sword. Because we have open wounds. That will help out a lot against Mephisto. But yeah, Borderlands is a really fun game. If you're into those you know, goofy FPS type of games, then I highly recommend Borderlands. I've been trying to get a Rathan on to get that goddamn play his game, and so has his kids. And he has yet to play it. If you see this video, get Borderlands. Because I own Borderlands 2 on PC. I can barely run it because it's somewhat laggy, but... Where'd you go? Come on. Aha. Get that wounds going on. That might be our savior for Mephisto and Diablo. He just fucking... Are you shitting me, sir? Leave me alone to fight Mephisto here? Mephisto just said, no, you're not getting a mark. You get two options, open wounds or mercenary. It's like, well, then I'll choose the goddamn open wounds. Sir? Oh, I just noticed my, oh no, memento. I noticed my goddamn thing ran out. I'm not gonna bother getting Merc back alive because there's no point. We can knock out Mephisto. It's gonna be a slow fight, but we got this. So. A really slow fight. Poison is the one thing that will actually... Oh, shit. Let me try to stay alive here for a moment here. Poison is the one thing that will actually... devastate an energy shield sorceress, because energy shield will protect you against certain elements, except for poison. So if you're plan on playing a energy shield sorceress, be aware that poison will wreck you. So just be careful. But we're still alive, so there's that. Until he pulled some BS out of his hat like that. It's a slow process, but it works. And once your energy shield runs out or you run out of mana, I'm pretty sure your energy shield will disappear. So be wary of that. He's slowly dying. We're slowly getting there, folks. Just stay with me. We're like, oh shit, we're already at 23 minutes? Oh, so ooh, I just realized what time we're at. Well, yes. Like it really matters for you guys. We'll knock out Mephisto and then we'll end the video, I guess. Oh, you dickhead. Okay, first death. This is the reason why we don't play hardcore. No problem whatsoever. I wasn't expecting him to throw 2 bowling balls at me like an asshole. That's not a biggie to me. I expect us to actually die more than just once, so no problem there. This is why you always open a portal too. So if Merc can keep his ass distracted long enough, we need to health here. Let me refill back up here again. Yeah, it's that poison is just wrecking Merc. I'm all rambling on, not even paying attention to what time it is. How much time is Come on, Mark, we got this. Yeah, we got it. Villa does. Alright, that's player 7 Mephisto. Alright, so it's like almost 25 minutes here. So we're going to end the video here. Beat it on player 7, but like I said, we'll see how players 4 goes. Or Act 4 goes. If it's going to become too difficult, we're dropping that down to players 1, and then we'll see where we go from there. Alright, so stay tuned for that. So stay safe, healthy, sanitize, continue to enjoy the videos, and that's about it. So think about dropping a like, think about subscribing, leave a comment below, and make sure to check them all out. See you guys.